Good day, pre-service teachers. Today, we will be presenting and elaborating on our assigned question, which is question number 10. But before we proceed, I would like to introduce the members of this presentation, Ms. Castine Aila Alarin and Ms. Lowella Catam-isan. So here is our assigned question, question number 10. Because reading remediation requires building skills rather than learning course content, what should reading trainers do? So here's the answer. Minimize testing and grading and observe the student in the actual act of reading. Later on, we will know about this topic and the explanation. So here's the video. Kindly listen carefully because after watching the video, I have here two sets of questions.
And more than a half of Massachusetts high school students still struggle with their reading skills. 22 News reporter Cy Becker found out how Western Mass schools help students improve their reading at an early age.
Chicopee teacher Crystal DeJesus devotes 90 minutes each morning to intensive reading with her 4th grade class at the Anna Barry Elementary School. Her students told 22 News they understand why Mrs. DeJesus insists on a goal of reading excellence.
They make us understand how to read better and to make us push us and to read more.
They push us to help us understand how to read and understand words that we don't understand.
So here are the questions. Question number 1. Do you think all the students who struggle with reading should have access to a reading program? May I have Joyce or Melano to answer the question?
Alright, so I strongly agree that these students who struggle with reading should have access to reading program because as we all know, students not only in the other country but also here in the Philippines, they lacked and fall short, and we can also say that they are inadequate readers. So they need to attend reading campaigns to address the country's lost seasons ranking in literacy and comprehension. So in a nutshell, bringing this together by having these reading campaigns can provide access to the students to explore various reading materials that ultimately can help their academic performance and contribute to their better educational outcomes as well. So that's all. Thank you.
What a brilliant answer. Thank you so much, Ms. Joyce or Delano. And now, let's proceed to the question number 2. In your opinion, what are the key elements that make a reading program successful for students? May I have Christene to answer the question?
So I think, in my opinion, the key element, the one important thing that should remember is the diversity of students. They should be able to be aware on how these different students have different, learning capacity. They have learning styles and techniques, and when it comes to reading, they may have also, they are different. We can say that. So I think the difference, they should be able to understand that in order to implement the reading program. That's all.
Okay, very good, Christene. Thank you so much. Before we proceed to the abstraction, allow me to go first to the Google Meet to unmute myself.
Alright, now let's have the next slide, please. Alright, so let's talk about reading remediation. So about the video earlier, it discussed the importance of reading remediation. So what is reading remediation? So it is a targeted approach to help students improve their reading skills, and it involves personalized instruction and practice to enhance reading fluency, comprehension, and vocabulary. So this is done in order to improve the reading skills of the student. As simple as that. Next. Next slide. All right. For the purpose of this is to support students in their development, specifically in their necessary skills to become proficient readers, because we're honing little ones here. So by addressing specific reading difficulties and providing tailored interventions, students can build a strong foundation. That's the main goal, to have strong foundation in reading that will benefit them across all academics. All right. So the purpose of this is to hone their skills for them to be good readers and to build not only just being strong in reading, because the macro skills are connected. So not only reading but speaking as well, and as well as their critical thinking skills. Next slide, please. All right, let's talk about the advantages of the reading remediation. So first, we have improved reading fluency and comprehension, enhanced vocabulary and critical thinking skills, like what I just mentioned earlier, increased confidence and motivation in reading, and better academic performance across all subjects. So this is not only focusing on English here, but it's also connected in math, science, and other subjects, because they also involve reading and the English language as well. That's why these are very crucial in the academic world. All right, next slide. Next slide, please. So, the do's and don'ts in reading remedial. Pay attention. First, do provide individualized instruction based on the student's needs. So, Christine Sonnet earlier talked about the diversity of the students. Yes, this is a must consideration when conducting um, a reading activity. And next, do use a variety of strategies to improve reading skills. Yeah, quite connected to diversity as well, because they have their particular needs, okay? And the don'ts, don't focus solely on content knowledge, but instead target specific reading skills. So not just give them something to read, but also assess what they really need in this particular aspect. And next, don't overwhelm the students with excessive testing and grading, because it will only lead to stress and not a thorough learning. Okay, next slide. Okay, so the importance of observing students in reading remediation. So the reading trainers, specifically the teachers, should observe the students in the actual act of reading, because reading remediation focuses on building skills rather than just learning the course content. So by observing the student, trainers can identify areas of difficulty or tailor interventions to address those needs effectively. Okay, the goal here is not to be fast, but to be slow and sure that the students are developing their specific skill, which is the reading. All right, that's all. Let's have Miss Castine Alarin for the next part.
Okay, now are you ready for the application part? Please raise your hand if you are. Okay, thank you. So for the application, so it's titled Beyond the Fabric, Exploring the Layers of the Emperor's New Clothes. So read the story The Emperor's New Clothes by Hans Christian Andersen. Using Flipgrid, share your reflection or insight that you've learned from the story in a 2-minute video. Submit the Flipgrid link in the group chat at 5 p.m. today. So am I understood? Please raise your hand. Okay, thank you. So for the next assessment, so it's titled Trip Down Memory Lane. So direction. Miss Eliza, can you please read?
Share your elementary school reading experiences using Padlet and make an effort to recall the many methods one of your teachers employed to teach the pupils how to read in 10 sentences.
Okay, so for the assessment, I will be sending the copy of the link in the group chat, and then you will provide your paragraph there, or like you can add pictures and like to make it more artistic. Okay, for the wrap up, Real comprehension has to do with thinking, learning, and expanding readers' knowledge and horizons. It has to do with building on past knowledge, mastering new information, connecting with the minds of those you've never met, by Zimmerman and Hutchins. This quote speaks to the essence of true comprehension, so which goes beyond just understanding the surface meaning of the words. It underscores the idea that real comprehension involves a deeper, more engaged process of learning and personal growth. So, is the discussion clear?
Yes, miss.
Thank you. That's all for today. Thank you, everyone.